Hello, my friends. We are up in Idaho camping for the long weekend, and I'm going to see how many books I can read while we're up here. I started Pines yesterday, and I'm about 70 pages in, and I'm loving it so far. I only heard really good things. I've been saving this to read when we're up in Idaho because it's set in Idaho, and so the vibe is definitely tracking with the book, so that's cool. I'm gonna try to finish this today. We just went for a really fun bike ride, and so now Alex is gonna go fishing, and I'm just gonna sit around and read all day. So plan number one is to finish this book. And then I brought 3 others to choose from. I'm going to, I think, probably pick up Wyatt next. I love reading cowboy romances while we're camping up in Idaho, so this will probably come next. And then, 4 is ambitious. We're only here for 3 days, so we'll see which one I get to. I just wanted choices, you know? So now we're gonna eat hot dogs real quick, and I'll get back to reading. All right, so let me tell you what's going on in this book. So the special service agent guy, Ethan Burke, goes to Wayward Pines, Idaho, because he's looking for 2 other missing Secret Service agents. And he gets into a car crash, wakes up in a hospital, doesn't know who he is, starts coming back to him. But then now, even I'm getting confused. Everyone in the town is like, you're not who you say you are. No one can vouch for you. All the people that you say say that they don't know you. And at first I was like, no, they're all fucking with him. But now I'm like, wait, is he not who he is? What is going on? And I think that's exactly the point of the book, because you're not sure if he's reliable. You don't know who to believe or what to believe. And so it's getting really good. I'm 116 pages in, and so it's picking up quick. And then also there's a whole chapter where it goes to his wife's experience currently. And apparently, I don't know, I don't want to spoil it, but it's just dual timelines, but 2 totally different things are happening. And so yeah, it's twisty. All right, so I'm on page 230, and it's turned more like action film-y. So it's losing me a little bit. There for a while, it was very much so like a psychological thriller, very twisty and turny, and then I feel like it just left that at the front door and then turned super actiony, and I don't love action, so it's losing my interest a little bit. I'm hoping that it'll circle back around, because I want to find out what in the world is going on in Wayward Pines. All right, I finished Pines by Blake Crouch. So it is part of a series, a 3-part series. It did end up circling back around to the psychological thriller part. It was also super sci-fi, which I didn't know. And so now I am kind of intrigued. The way that it leaves off makes me want to read book 2. And like I said, there's also book 3. So I'm like, where is this story going? So I think I'm going to rate this 4 stars. And I'm really happy that I saved it to actually read in Idaho, because like I mentioned, Wayward Pines is set in Idaho. And so the vibes were just hitting. But yeah, I think that this is probably, I don't read sci-fi often. I didn't even know that this was sci-fi when I picked it up, but the sci-fi aspect was pretty cool. So I'm pretty excited about it. Like I said, I think I'm gonna grab book 2. And now I'm going to start Wyatt, because, like I said, cowboy romance in Idaho, it just kind of fits. This is the 2nd book in this series. Like I said, in my cowboy romance readathon, Duke was the first one. I really loved it a lot more than I thought I would. It's a 5-book series of all of the brothers in the family. And so Wyatt is next. On the back, it says he is exactly what she's looking for in a one-night stand, if only he wasn't her best friend. So sounds messy from the very beginning. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to start this and then hopefully finish it by tomorrow. But Alex is done fishing, so I think we're going to head back to camp, take our little propane tank showers, make some dinner, read some books, probably watch a little movie. Yeah, it'll be great. Hello, my friends. It is the next day. It's Saturday, and this morning we woke up and went for another really fun bike ride. And now we are back out camping. Alex is fly fishing, and I am reading my book. I started Wyatt last night. I know I said yesterday that the first book was Duke, but I was wrong. That's another brother and another book. I don't know if it's like 3, 4, or 5, but Cash is actually book number 1. And anyway, it's cool because it like references the characters from the first book. So it's just like that interconnected series vibe. But so far, I'm like 100 pages into this, loving it. I'm expecting us to be out here for several hours. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to smash through this real quick, which should be fun. And I had 2 other thoughts that I wanted to share with you guys about Pines by Blake Crouch. So number 1 is there's quite a bit of reference to him being in the military as like a prisoner of war. And several years ago when I was living down in Chile, I read this book. I can't remember what it's called. I'll put it on the screen. But it was like a memoir of this guy, this military man. And it made me realize like it's just such a fascinating career because it's so different than anything that I'm used to. And it kind of makes me want to read more in that genre or in that vein. So if anyone has any recommendations for any books that are like war oriented or war based, especially memoirs, let me know. Shoot, I can't remember the second thing I was gonna say. Oh yeah, the vibes. So the second thing is the vibes. So that book like very much so made me think of Twin Peaks and True Detective. Like if you kind of melted them together, those were the vibes of the book. So if you're into those vibes, highly recommend. It was good. I'm excited to get back to civilization and get book number 2. All right, anyway, back to Wyatt. Okay, reading update. I am a little over halfway of Wyatt, and it started as like childhood love that they never talked about. Well, not even childhood, but like teenage love. Like they both had crushes on each other, never talked about it. She goes to vet school and then comes back to like her hometown. They reconnect. Like they've always been best friends, but they never talked about their crushes on each other. And all of that I loved. Like I loved the yearning. I loved like the anticipation and the build up and all of that. And then it turned friends with benefits. And that's disappointing to me. I feel like, I don't know. I like my romance books with like a side of spice, not like the spice being like the whole plot. And and it's crazy because like we know that they have feelings for each other, but they just like won't talk about it. And that is annoying to me. So I'm hoping that it'll like flip a switch soon and like have the conversation and then blah, blah, blah. But whatever. I mean, the setting is still really good. I think it's a fun read. I mean, cowboy romance is always like just vibes, you know? So anyway, we'll see where it goes. I will say because of the overall plot, so far I prefer Cash over Wyatt, but we'll see how this finishes up. Okay, so I'm on page 305 of Wyatt, and I can't stop thinking about Rewind It Back by Liz Tomford. That's the other book in my mind about like high school love and then reconnecting later in life. And I hate to say it, but that book knocks the ball out of the park. Like the yearning and the romance and the sweetness, it just, I mean, granted, that was like a 5-star read for me. Wyatt, I mean, I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it. It just seems a lot more immature. And I am letting the comparison steal the joy from me, I think. I still like Wyatt, but I will say I'm like already eager to get to book 3 in this series because this story is not particularly my vibe. I don't know. Like I said, it's really spice heavy and I just don't love that. Not my vibe. So I only have like 100 pages left and then I'm already excited for the next book. All right, book review time. I just finished Wyatt, and like I mentioned, it just wasn't my favorite. I'm gonna give it 3 stars because the whole spice premise, like basically she came home, she wanted to like let loose before going to the big city to like pursue her dreams, and her childhood best friend like reconnected, fake dating, all of that. Just the emphasis on spice wasn't my favorite. I loved Wyatt. I think that he had a big heart and I thought he was really romantic and sweet, but I didn't love this as much as Cash, but I am excited for the rest of the series. That is for sure. So that is book 2 of this trip. Now I need to move on to book 3. I am between The Drowning Woman by Robyn Harding. I know nothing about this other than it's a thriller. I could be into a thriller right now. The other option that I brought with me is Along Came Amor by Alexis Daria. This is part of a series. I actually think that this is book 2 of the series. I've heard super good things. I am really excited to read this. I just don't know if I'm in the mood for another romance, if I'm being completely honest. So I think I'm gonna go with The Drowning Woman next. I just want something like fast-paced and maybe something that'll make me sweat a little. Pines, I really like that book, but it wasn't like a thriller that made me sweat. I was just like kind of confused, like where's this gonna go? What's gonna happen? Like all of that. And so I'm hoping that this might be something that'll, make me sweat a little, like feel a little anxious. So let's start this one. Book number 3. Okay, so reading update. I went into this completely blind, and essentially it is about a girl or a woman, I guess, that like right before COVID, she opened her own restaurant in New York City. Pandemic happened. Now she's homeless. She met a woman who is being abused by her husband, and the woman is like, I need to get away. I'll find us like new identities and all of that. And so the homeless woman, Lee, is like, okay, great. That sounds good. So she befriends this woman because actually she saved her life. So originally the way that they met is Lee saw this woman in the water trying to like drown herself. And so she pulled her out. And then this new woman, Hazel, is like, wow, I owe you so much. You saved my life. Like I thought I wanted to die, but I don't really, whatever. Also at the same time, Lee has met this guy. He like came into the diner, or he saw her in the automobile shop while she was like getting her windshield fixed, found her at the diner that she worked with, and now they're kind of like hooking up or whatever. She's kind of falling for him. That is where I'm at, but I am sensing some fishy behavior. Hazel really wants to leave her abusive husband, and now she's asking Hazel, after like some spa treatments, including like getting her hair done, to basically pretend to be Hazel and like go to her house because her abusive husband has like cameras on her and stuff. And that seems fishy to me. Also, this man who like randomly showed up and is all of a sudden very interested in Lee is fishy to me. But I think like 95 pages in, and I am hooked. I will say that. This is really good. It's page turner for sure. All right, so a reading update. Last night, I read for a while, then we showered with our little propane tank and then had dinner and went to sleep. I fell asleep almost immediately, but this morning I laid in bed for a while and kept reading The Drowning Woman. And now we packed up camp. We came to fish for a little bit before we head home back to Salt Lake. And I just finished this. I'm gonna give this 4 stars. It wasn't a 5-star read, but the twist definitely kept me intrigued. Like, I could not stop reading it. I was very curious where it was going. There are a lot of twists in it. The setting was pretty good for summer, I would say. It's kind of set on the coast. Like, the water and the beach is very prominent, obviously, because it's called The Drowning Woman. But yeah, this is good. I would definitely read other books by Robyn Harding. I liked it. This is a good summer thriller. I recommend it. And so now it is finally time to start Along Came Amor by Alexis Daria. I'm really excited about this. I think it'll be a fun summer romance book, and I've had it on my shelf for a couple of months now waiting for summer, and so now is the time. All right, we just made it home from our long weekend of camping, and I thought I would just do a quick little recap of what I read. Pines by Blake Crouch, first book in the Wayward Pines series, super good, loved the vibes, very like Pacific Northwest, eerie, creepy vibes. Very excited to pick up book number 2. Rated this one 4 stars. Wyatt by Jessica Peterson. Definitely not my favorite of the series. Granted, it is only book 2, so I have high hopes for the rest of the series, but I only rated this one 3 stars. The Drowning Woman by Robyn Harding. I really, really liked this a lot more than I thought I would. It was definitely a page turner. I would highly recommend this as a summer thriller. I'll be looking to see if there are other books that Robyn has written, and then I'll keep an eye out for future books that they write. Oh yeah, and I rated this one 4 stars. And then today I just started Along Came Amor. I didn't get very far at all before we headed back, but I am really enjoying it already. Their banter is really good, and I so far like the characters individually, and so I have also high hopes for this one. We are back in Salt Lake. I am like already sweating because it's like 100 degrees here. We're gonna unpack from camping for the weekend, and I hope that you guys really enjoyed watching. We go camping a lot, so I'll do a couple more of these this summer, and I will see you guys next week. Thanks again for watching. Bye.